Okay, guys, so now that we are back in business, thank you all for hanging in there with me. Today we're going to talk about how to get paid using command. So this is your command screen, okay? This is where your home screen is. When you log in, this is what you should see. So we're going to go over a little rundown just in the beginning, and then we'll get to the commissions part. So when you're in command, you're going to go first to the contacts tab, okay? And here you will have all the contacts you have. Now, because I am not an agent, I only have a few contacts that I've put in here, two of which are my parents, April King and Eric King. That's my mom and my stepdad. So we will go over here and you click the person that you want to use. And make sure you have all of their information in here. I have them set up on neighborhoods and all of those things. And we can get into that another day, but I just wanted to show you this is a contact card, okay? So once you have one of these in, you can go in and create an opportunity. So you see this opportunity tab over here. It looks like the handshaking. We're going to click on that. Being a little slow today. So as you can see here, I have no listings, no buyers. I have nothing. So we're going to go ahead and start something. So we're going to create an opportunity in the corner, and we're going to fill out all this information. So you're in the Inglewood Market Center, and for my purposes today, we're just going to say that I am a listing, okay? My client will put April because she's in our contacts. And if you go over here to co-seller, if you have a relationship listed in the contact card, like I have for my mom, which is my stepdad, as a spouse, you can add that. I know there's probably there's a video somewhere on YouTube that says, I think command is not the devil, and it goes a little bit more into detail on the contact cards. So then we're going to go down here and we're going to fill out the estimated closing date. We'll just put March 1st for our purposes today. We'll say the listing price was $250,000, and we are getting half, so 3%. Now, when you go into the opportunity phases, in the opportunity stage, you have 3 different options. So I have here cultivate, appointment, and active. So let's say that my listing is active and we are in the showing stage, okay? Now, this is up to you how you want to use those tabs, how you want to manage it, but for our purposes today, I'm just going to say that we are showing it and it is not ready to go just yet. So here you can see we have some basic details in the opportunity. And whenever you do this, you'll have a little bit more information than I have today because this is a mock property. I'm just putting in what we need to have here. So as you can see, we have nothing in the property information. So we're going to go ahead and add that. And what's really cool about command is that if you go ahead and start typing an address, this is my address that I used to live in. It'll pull it up. So all you have to do is find that address, click on it, and it'll be all in here for you, which is really cool. As you can see, I used to live in Walker, Louisiana, in Livingston Parish, and we'll save that. And then you can go in here and edit these as well. But when it really comes in is whenever you go into offers and commissions. So for our purposes today, I don't have any of these in here, but as you know, we will need to put some documents in here. So we're going to say it's a residential. So you have a land or a residential sale, right? So this is a home. So you're going to pick residential. And then it gives you a checklist of everything you need to have in here, right? And it has required, optional, conditionally required. So you'll know if you need to put these things in here or not in order to get your commission request. So once all of these are in here and you've submitted it, see the submit to MC button. I can't submit it because I don't have a DocuSign or anything like that because I don't have any deals. But for your purposes, you will be able to submit it to the Market Center. Same with under contract and closed. So make sure you have all of these documents in here before you submit your commission request except for the closing docs, because obviously it hasn't closed yet. But you want to have your listing and your under contract documents, and anything as far as closing, I don't think you'll have much. But after it closes, you'll need to have everything in here. And that's where Rhoda will come in, and Rhoda will go in and check everything for you, make sure it's all been approved, or if there's any issues with it, she'll contact you about that. This is why we do ask for at least 2 weeks, just so that Rhoda has enough time to go in and make sure everything that's been put in here is okay, and that you don't need anything to be changed or added. And that way your file is clean and neither of us will have any issues going forward with it. So now, this is where I start to come in. Your commissions, right? So let's say that you have it in the listing, it's been showing, and you finally got an offer. So let's go ahead and add an offer. It's going to call it initial offer. We'll just call it offer 1, assuming that we have more than one offer. And if you have an agent name or something you want to put in here to name that offer so you understand it better, that is probably something good to do for your purposes. So let's say it's closing on you said March 1st. Let's do that. And then we're going to go to parties. So parties are going to be the buyer, the seller, and the co-op agent you're working with. So let's say that the person who is buying this house is named Jim. And we'll say that the person representing Jim is Pam. Okay. Terms in here, this is going to ask you how much is cash, how much is being financed, and that should equal the sales price. Okay. So let's say that I got $10,000 in cash and they financed $225,000. Okay. So we agreed on a $235,000 sales price. You'll go in and put your escrow amount, which is $500 for this case, and anything else that may apply to your deal. So if you have termination, option, seller contributing to different costs, that can all be entered here for that offer. Here is if you have something to say about the co-op agent. If you think they would be good for Keller Williams, you could put that in here. If there's any notes you needed to keep on this person, you have access to that here. And so there is your offer, okay? So we have our one offer. Now, you can add, say you get more than one offer, right? You can add another offer here, and it will create something that you can have a comparable list. So, so you have 2 or 3 offers, and you can generate a PDF. Would y'all like to see me do that, or do you think that's pretty self-explanatory? Anyone want to see that? Okay. So, like I said, if you have more than one offer, you'll put them all in here, and another button will pop up and say compare the offers, and then you can see all. Not necessarily. Okay, awesome. Cool. So we will keep going. So let's say that we like this offer. We're going to take it, okay? Now it's open. So this stage of the game, we've accepted the offer, and we can go in and manage that commission. Okay? So you see down here at the bottom where it says the contract date's missing, you can't proceed with that until you put in the contract date. So you're going to click that little pencil. You're going to click contract date, and we're going to put February 1st. Okay? So save those changes. Then you can come in here and add your agent payment information, right? So in this case, I am the agent. I'm getting 1 full unit. And down here, I can donate to KW Cares. Say I want to give $10 to KW Cares. And let's say that I had a referral. Okay, so if you go in here under extra payment options, you can add bonus, concession, deduction, inside or outside referral. So because I don't have the outside referral information, I'm just going to use an inside agent. And let's say we give them 25% of this. So we'll say like 1,500. I'm not doing the exact math, but say that you agree on a $1,500 referral. And we'll say that Blake referred this to me. Okay. So now you have your referral in there. It's very similar for the outside referral. It's just a different. Oh, Marlene, you may be muted. I haven't heard anything. Oh, you're not muted. Let's see. I'm not hearing you, Marlene. Are you still there? Are you talking? I'm sorry about that. So we'll save those changes. I can't really see the screen without it doing that. And it's going to be a little slow today. But we just have all of those, the commission changes in here. So that way, whenever I pull it through to my end, it I know exactly how to break up your commission. Okay. Oh, no, Marlene, I did not hear that. I'm having trouble hearing you. And I don't know why. My volume's up and the volume on our projector is up as well. Do you hear any voices coming out of there, David? No? Okay. Trying to see if maybe it's something on the projector. Can you talk now, Marlene? Still not hearing you. Volume's up. That I just want to make sure that we can hear Marlene if she's trying to talk to us. I don't see anything else in the chat. Marlene, if you want, you can put something in the chat. And if you have questions after this, I'd be happy to jump on a call with you and go over anything if that works better for you. I'm sorry about that. I'm not hearing you on the projector today. Okay. So now we have the commission request created. If you have another agent, you can add them here. And you can put all those details in there as well. Say that you did a deal with someone in the office as the buyer's agent, you can add them here, okay? But I'm not going to put them in here today. But it's just this little add another agent tab, okay? And we already put the referral and edit agent payment. So we're going to submit it now, all right? So this has been submitted, and this will tell Rhoda that you are in need of a commission request, right? So once you submit this, Rhoda's going to know to go in and to make sure that you have all of your documents, that they're all approved, and that we can go ahead and give you the DA. Now, a DA is a disbursement authorization or distribution authorization, meaning it authorizes me to distribute your money, your commission in a certain way. So anything that you tell me goes in that deal, I'm going to put it in Winmore, and it's going to spit out these papers that you can give to the title company, or if the title company doesn't do that, then I'll use it here. And it basically tells you how much KW gets, how much you get, if there's a referral, anything like that. So it's a pretty nifty little tool. This is replacing green sheets. If you were here previously for Command, green sheets was the only way that you could submit a commission, and it was actually a lot more muddy and not as user-friendly as command. So I really like the offers and commissions tab. So you'll be able to check on the status of your commission. And so let's go move this under contract. Okay, you can go in here. And this is another tab for another day. Blake has videos on all of these other steps. But you can go in here and you can see, if you go back into that that opportunity and go into offers and commissions, you see right here it says submitted. So once this turns green, it'll say approved. And that is whenever myself or Angie can go in on our end and we pull it through. So that means we'll put it in the system and it'll create the DA for you. Now that DA will then be emailed to you once it's approved, and you can send it to the title company. I know a lot of title companies want to have them a few days in advance, so I ask that you request this no later than 2 days before your closing, but really it should be as far out in advance as you can get it, just so that nobody's rushing around at the last minute trying to get that figured out. Okay, so that is the command side of commissions. So the next side of things that I have for you all is going to be, I just want to talk a little bit about how to turn in your commissions. So there is a little screen or a little board outside of my office that most of you have probably seen. There is a little clipboard, and it has a little form on it that says who you are, what the property is, when it closed, and who you represented. So once you filled that out, I'll know that you had a closing, and I can go in the system and close that out for you. And that way you get the production for that month. Looks like we have a chat. Can I still use .loop for a green jade for a closing on March 26th? Already in .loop. Okay, so that is a really great question. So .loop is not really the method that we are using. We are switching to command. So we are going to ask that anything that you have coming up be put into command, because sooner or later we're going to have to switch over from .loop. You can still have access to .loop, but compliance is going to be moving through command. And myself and Blake, we can help you with doing these things in command. If you're not really sure exactly how to do them, we're more than happy to help you with that. But I would say go ahead and try to use command for any deals you have coming up. We want you to get used to using it, and we think it'll be a really good tool to help you organize your business. I really like the commission tabs in command as well, because it makes it easier for me to process your commission, as well as less room for error. So since you can put everything in on your end and I just pull it through, it's less me having to put in your information and more of you having control over that commission. Now, for changes to be made to a commission, once I pull it through into Winmore and it says approved and DA created, you can no longer make changes to it. So all I need is an email to my email, mca@kwinglewood.com, saying, hey, this got moved to another day, or we changed the price or the commission or anything that needs to be changed on it. I can go in and change that. Okay, so that's not a big deal. Now, let's go back into the opportunities. And let's say that you didn't close the deal, right? Adjust again. Okay. Hey, Marlene. So no, we are not going to be using .loop for much longer. So I would say go ahead and try to use command. If you have any questions with command, Blake and myself will be more than happy to help you with that. We just, we're trying to make sure everybody moves over to command as quickly as they can. so that y'all get used to using it. And we think it's a little bit more user-friendly. Note your address. Oh, sorry about that. mca@kwinglewood.com. And I'll put it in the chat. And I'm sorry about that, Marlene. I'm not sure why we're not hearing you, but I'm going to work on getting that fixed because I want everybody to be able to participate. Okay, so say that we are in this opportunity, okay? And you need to terminate it. Say it didn't go through, something happened, for whatever reason, it's not gonna close. You can go ahead and request a termination. And I'll know on my end that I need to go in and delete this request for a commission. And then that defeats us having email back and forth. You just go in and request it that way. So it's pretty simple. I know, I'm really sorry. I'm not sure why that's happening. I've turned up the volume on the projector and on the computer, and I don't want to be running in and out of the room in the middle of the recording. So I'm really sorry about that, but we will get it fixed. But that's just a really quick and simple overview of commissions in Command. I think it's a really good little tool, and I enjoy it. If you have anybody have any specific questions about Command after watching this? No?
Can you hear me, Jessica?
Yeah, I can hear you, Tom.
Quick question. I'm scheduled for closing on Friday. So
Okay.
I thought I needed to wait till after the closing to do this, so I'll go in and do it today.
Yes,
But,
go in and do it today.
But one question I had was, since I just started with Keller, I was eligible for like $500 in a credit that would be paid back over time based on closings. So
Yes.
does that show up on that commission screen, or is that show up
No, that's
someplace
not
else?
going to show up in the commission screen. That's going to be a reimbursement on my end. So that's just something that I will go in and add to that. But no, you don't have to put that in the commission.
Okay, I'll be submitting two, because there's two different properties closing on Friday, so I'll be submitting them today.
Okay, yeah, do it as soon as you can. Today would be perfect, and we will get those approved for you for Friday, okay?
Great. What would happen if the title company didn't get that DA, that distribution authorization, or that
Yes.
information from us before the closing?
That's a
What do
good
they then
question.
do?
Yes. So what they will do is, instead of so the reason that you give that to the title company before the closing is so they can just write you your check at the table. You don't have to bring the check here to the office to be cut back to you. So in other markets, they will just cut the check, the entire commission, your portion and the company's portion, to Keller Williams. And then you will bring that commission check to our office. And then I will then receive the check and distribute it to you, and I will keep a portion. Instead, what the title company does is they go in and they say, hey, this is your portion, and they cut you a check for that. And they cut our office a check for the 30%. And then that way you get to take your money home that day instead of having to bring it to the office to be processed. But if they didn't have the DA, all that would happen is they would cut the full check to us, and then I would go in and break it up. So it's not a big deal if they don't get it before the closing, but we do like to offer that so that you don't have to wait to get paid.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Marlene, that is fine. So Marlene said, is it still okay for the title company to send info and checks to KW and I just send the copies? Yeah, that's fine. If you have the DA there already and they give you your check and mail me my check, that is fine. I will say, if it's a end of the month closing and we're not sure that mailing it is gonna get here before transmittal, which transmittal happens the first 2 days after the end of the previous month. So in our instance here, transmittal is going to happen Monday and Tuesday of next week for February. So if you have any closings this week, and they said they can mail the closing information to me, like the check, and I don't get it until March 3rd. That's not necessarily going to be able to count for February because I've already transmitted. I have to be transmitted by the second day of transmittal. So that's the only little tidbit I have about that. If you do have a closing that's happening later in the month, try to get that in as soon as possible so that we're not waiting on a commission to come in. Okay. Anybody have any questions as far as anything else to do with the MCA area? Commissions, DAs, anything like that? The chat up. I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and stop recording. We'll save that.